We finally did it.
Oh my God.
Yay.
This is why you never trust me with the technology. How is everybody doing tonight? Say Wong, what is going on?
Pretty
I know
good.
What's up, Ray?
Yeah. Well, I went and saw Black Panther.
Oh
yeah, how was it?
Yeah.
No spoilers, but how was it?
No spoilers. I will say it's intense. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful tribute to Chadwick, and definitely take tissue. Definitely.
Wow.
I cried like 7 or 8 times. Even during the credits, I cried. Let's just put it that way. Like the songs were beautiful and just emotional. It's an emotional ride, but it's definitely
was it a well-written story.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were parts in it where you felt what the characters felt. I mean, it was that intense. I forgot to drink a drink. I was just like involved so much into it. And and just the way that they did everything. Namor is Namor. So if you know Namor from the comics, you're gonna be like, yep, that's him. That's Namor. Even though they messed with his origin a little, made it, they made him more like central, like South American, and it's Mayan, and they speak like 5 or 6 languages in this movie, and each language has its own color of captions. So that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like really neat that they do that. And there's a couple of surprises in it, and I'm not going to spoil any of that, but I was very like, when I left, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I wanted to see it again. That's how I gauge how good a movie is how much I want to see it again. And I would have absolutely sat in that theater and watched it again immediately.
And that's why I saw The Dark Knight 6 times that summer.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I swear I'd lived in the movie theater. I was like, no, I'll go to the bathroom. I'll wash myself in the sink kind of thing. But it's really good.
The big question is, especially with with the success of Black Panther, the first Black Panther, and then of course with Chadwick Boseman passing, there was a lot riding on, and on top of the fact that a lot of people have been complaining that Phase 4 Marvel has kind of fallen off, and a lot was riding on Black Panther to kind of get Marvel back on its rails. Do you think it lived up to the hype, or was it just too much for it to fight with?
I mean, I think it lived up to the hype. I am not one that thinks that Phase 4 has been kind of waiting or treading water or anything. I feel like it's just a different type. I mean, we had like for the first 3 phases, first of all, in the first couple of phases, we had no idea they were phases. We were just like, these are movies, these are great. And then, then when they wrapped it all up, we were like, oh, wait a minute, everything's connected.
This is officially the last part of Phase 4, right? The Guardians Holiday Special is not part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I really think that it fits in because I feel like Phase 4 has been like mystical and expanding the universe, like expanding the world.
Right.
So that they can introduce like mutants, and they can introduce the younger heroes, and basically have the older heroes pass the torch kind of thing. And so I think this was the down time that they needed. And this Phase 4 is that growing pains phase almost. Like they're trying to expand everything. You know how it is when you expand something. We all know when we're eating too much or whatever, and we have to expand some stuff. That it's growing pains. Some things work, some things don't. I really think when we look back on it, like we look back on the first 3 phases, that we're gonna go, Oh yeah, it does. Look, this connects there, that connects here. We're gonna be Charlie Day with the, all the little red yarn,
Happy Saturday.
smoking a cigarette kind of thing on the board. Yeah, so I think that's probably what it is. Now, maybe I'm just glasses half full person, but I really think that we will look back on it and be like, that's what this all meant. So
I think Phase 4 has been really, really heavy on the Disney streaming stuff, whereas all the other phases have been, movie theater based. And I think maybe that is a big reason why so many people are complaining.
That's the Kingdom Hearts complex right there. Let's make 12 games in a series, but let's have 4 of them be on different consoles that people might not necessarily have. And it has
Right.
a convoluted plot that you didn't play those other 6 games. Well, I guess read the 5-hour anthology before playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
Still follow that goddamn story, and where the goddamn were my Final Fantasy characters? I want to know.
I mean, speaking of Final Fantasy,
battle, I got both of the other bastards. It's not fair.
Well, the Final Fantasy box that had every Final Fantasy game that came out about 10 years ago, it was across every system. It wasn't just on one system. So it had just the PlayStation games and the PS2 and PS3 and the PSP instead of putting them on a single disc to play in one singular system as a collection.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. So
I was talking about
multi-disc stuff is bullshit. Just put it on one disc. I'm sorry. I'm not changing discs. This is not the 90s. This is not the 80s. I do not have to change all this stuff.
It's like Laserdisc all over again.
Hey,
by the way,
hey.
I forgot to say what's up, Thomas, and Say Wong. Of course, thank you for tuning in, and anybody else who is out there that I don't see their names popping up. Yeah. We just started right in with Black Panther. Forrest, how's your week going?
It's staying pretty busy, dude. I've been doing training modules all week long to prepare for my new job, which starts a week from this Monday, because there's still more to go. But as of tomorrow, that stuff will be done. And then there's, DOT test, drug testing, crap like that. So once all that's out of the way, training begins. And
Yay.
also
John,
I've been finishing episode 7 of Last of Us. I started episode 8 of Last of Us, and Mrs. Fours and I will be recording episode 9 of Last of Us on Sunday. So yeah, dude, we're keeping it freaking busy.
Wow, man.
And we're probably doing Mega Man X this weekend.
And we're doing Mega Man X tomorrow, probably.
Wow.
Oh, I had that game before it even released here. You have no fucking idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Anthony, depending upon, because I talked to Aubrey the other night, and whenever you're available, I think we're gonna forego Last of Us 2. We're gonna put it off until after we finish Legend of Dragoon. So we need to get you in on it.
Did you guys already start it?
Nope, we are waiting for you.
Okay, I was about to say, if you started that without me, I was gonna be so sad.
Dude, I love you too much to do that to you. Come on.
Thank you.
Aww.
Hey, big
All the
what's up
love.
to Johnny Collado out there in New York. Dark Wolf Sabers is in the house. Don't
Hey,
forget, they're
Wolf.
doing their special drive right now. I want to say 10% of every Saber goes towards the lung. I don't know if it's a lung foundation or what organization it is, but it does have to do with lung cancer. So make sure to check out Dark Wolf Sabers. All right, so you've had a busy week and you continue to keep rocking it. I'm excited. Your gaming shows are fun, dude. It's fun watching you hanging out with other people. It's like
Even
hanging out
though
in your living
I
room.
totally failed at Final Fantasy Remake the other night. God, that was embarrassing.
So,
So you
All the
did
joys
better
of-
than I
of-
would
of-
have.
Not playing
All
that again.
right, Anthony, what is
Hi.
going on, my friend?
Hi.
well, I've been out of work for 6 days this week because of my fucking damn foot. But
Oy.
I went back Thursday night. Yeah, last night, and then I had a shift today. I'm doing a little better. I had to go to urgent care to make sure it wasn't cellulitis instead of a muscle thing, because that happened once. But it wasn't, and I got proper meds, and now I'm kind of doing better. But it sucks. It sucks laying in bed all the time and not being able to do anything. And
Forced
then
vacation.
well, yeah, and then not only am I not having fun with my time off from work, but I'm losing money by not being at work. And
Yeah.
then I go back and I'm like, fuck, I still hurt right now. I have to take it easy. Just falling apart at the seams. Don't get over 35. I don't know what to tell people.
A little late for that.
I know.
Really
Well-
quickly, Johnny, it does look like your wolf logo up above Anthony's.
Hey,
Anthony's
I decided to match my ensemble. What can I say?
head.
Theme.
Jesus, Anthony, I don't know where you got that shirt, but I demand that you send me one ASAP.
I think this was a Ross find. It was Ross or Dee Dee's, I think.
It's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Ross is
welcome.
amazing for clothes.
Yeah.
Graveyard.
Yes.
How you
Yeah.
doing?
Doing good. Working, finishing up the title cards for the retro part of the gaming. I think you guys saw some of those pictures of the characters I made. I got
We made.
we made 4 I made. Did the title card, and then I'm working on a transition piece from the current one into what I'm making as well.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Retro
cool.
gaming. That's going to be a new show on KC. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Retro
I am so
gaming.
excited.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think all of us obviously played retro gaming, right? So we could all get involved, and I said hopefully recording Mega Man X with Forz this weekend.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna
everything
be
hooked
like
up.
Pong.
You know where all of the secret things are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, he does.
Yes. I literally spent my childhood at my friend's house looking in every corner before the internet because it was 1992.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let him lie to you like that. You know he's
I don't
hiding
know
that
how we
secret
figured out
strategy
half
guide
the
in that
secrets
beard of
that we
his.
did back then. Honestly, like I look back at all those games, like Super Mario World. Who figured out all those secrets? We didn't have like game guides and whatnot back then.
Well, you had people that say I got what in Super Mario World 100% on the game. It
Nintendo
says 100.
Power.
Oh, I never had that.
I miss my magazine.
That's how you do.
Yeah, I didn't get magazines till like Game Informer. That was like 97.
Oh my.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I think I was mostly just poor. So
Yeah.
I thought
You
you,
know
said
what? I
I was
feel like-
mostly porn. And I was like, whoa. We went totally different direction.
I mean, we can talk about my early 20s. No, I'm kidding, never.
Wow. I feel like this is a direct transition into is it okay to be a kid as an adult?
Very loaded question.
I was going to say, I feel like this is the wrong damn
Whoa.
show for this question.
I don't
Yes.
think we're going to have a lot of dissenting opinions here.
Again, it depends on the context. We need to frame this a little bit better. What is your definition of to be a kid as an adult?
Johnny says, I'm a big kid. Right. Well, first off, I'm going to say I don't think this is like the sexual fetish kind of thing. I don't think we're talking about, people in diapers being like bottle fed in the, 50s and stuff like that. I don't think that's what, although, it could be. I'm not sure who brought this topic up, but, we can go
That's
that
what I mean.
direction
There's a
if
little
the
bit of
segment
like
gets short.
depth to this kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Depends on which way we want to go.
I assumed it was more like, people that collect Transformers still, or, all the Star Wars toys, or, maybe they're lightsaber collectors. I assumed that's where the direction we were with this topic.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming too, because I'll just quickly say about video games, because when we were growing up, video games were considered kids' toys, and then you always had the weird uncle that had the Atari 2600 that played video games, and now it obviously changed a lot, and that's kind of direction I think I was taking this topic as.
Right.
And just collections overall, because we all have our own collections of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
First off, is there a difference? Is that a child thing or an adult thing, or has society changed? I mean, is it more maybe socially
like that's
acceptable?
more of a hobby thing. Like that's really what it sounds like we're all describing as hobbies, because collecting things is a hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, people do it with all sorts of random ass shit. I know
Right.
my husband loves Little Mermaid and Nightmare Before Christmas and Alice in Wonderland memorabilia. Like we have a whole thing for that. But as far as like gaming, that's definitely become instead of just something you did when you were a kid, like men in their 40s are still going online regularly. You know, men who are married that have children and everything of their own. That's their thing. Like that's their little side hobby. That's what they do to kind of decompress. And there are a lot of things that are very mature, clearly in games these days too. So I don't know. I think there's a difference between collectibles and then like as a mindset. Like I kind of went to that weird deep end thing of like, is it people who act kind of like a kid, or are we talking about like the people that always have the Disney seasonal passes even though they're single and in their 30s and they just go there for the nostalgia of it?
I mean, we can do all the
that's
above.
That's a whole. They have a term for that too. I can't remember what it's called, but that's like a whole separate category of people that are adult
Disney. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even more
I had
specialized
season
group.
passes when I was an adult, and I guess I am still an adult, right?
Do you still?
I don't know. I'm rethinking that now. No, I had like when my first husband and I, we had season passes before my son was born. But we lived like an hour away from Disneyland, so we were there all the time. So yeah, so it made sense. But I didn't have all the pins, and I wasn't like I know all the Disney characters and so. I mean, I know some, but we just liked going there. It was fun. We got to ride the rides, and heck, when they reintroduced alcohol, man, that was fun. But but yeah, I mean, we just would go. That was just something that we did in Southern California. So, but I don't know if I would consider myself like a Disney file or whatever. Probably more so now since they own Marvel. But but yeah, other than that, but I get what you're talking about. That there are some people that are so obsessed with Disney that that they just can't that they can't live their life without it. You know,
right. Say Wong says most of his friends have season passes, and I know several people that have that live up here and have season passes. That's from up here. That's like a 6-hour drive to get down.
Yeah.
Down to
it makes more sense for most of you. Me, where I live, doesn't make sense to have a season pass.
No, I wouldn't have one now either. So,
how far are you from Disney World?
23 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I want to say you're pretty Midwest like me too, right?
Chicago-ish, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'm just like right down. I'm like right down the street from you, down in Oklahoma.
So do you guys have anything in that area, like a big known amusement parks?
There's a Great America in just almost Wisconsin. There's Kings Island in Ohio, and there's Cedar Point in Ohio, which is amazing, amusement park stuff.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to those more often. I've only been in Disney World once, and that was 32 years ago.
Right.
I want to go back to Magic Mountain.
But I am going back in 2024 to bring my kids. So
that's awesome. That is so great.
Do you guys think that there's something like, especially now, I like watching a lot of the YouTube channels. There's one called Clownfish TV. A lot of these channels kind of talk about like the insides of what's going on at Disney with the executives and things like that. And how, a lot of people feel, especially in the past few years, it started before the pandemic, but it's only gotten worse since, is that, Disney's pricing so many of us out. Like, when I was growing up, that was kind of like part of the American dream, right? Was to go on a family visit to Disneyland, and more so, it's just like anything else. They talk about supply and demand, right? If Disney can charge $150 a day for a ticket as opposed to $100 a day, and their demand is still high, why wouldn't they? Right? I mean, but do you think it's kind of killing that? I mean, is Disney as important nowadays, or?
Oh, Disney's whole MO has been to just make money for quite some time now. But they're openly vocal about, we're going to keep on raising the prices as long as the park is full. Because I think what they are trying to do is drive people to not go in such huge quantities. Because when you can't get on a ride, it's not fun anymore. When you like
Right.
you're constantly stuck in crowd, it's no longer fun. Now it's just frustrating. So
But
I feel like there
but has
is
it
that
become elitist?
a little bit, and I mean that is also part of their thing. Like, okay, well, we're just gonna keep on doing this, so that way the people who are willing to pay it can enjoy their experience like they used to. Because that's our whole goal now. There's just too many fucking people.
I
But
mean,
they should also just expand the goddamn park. Like, you have now taken on 5 new conglomerations. Expand your park; they will still come.
Or
And
put
then
one
you
in the
have more
middle
space
of
for
the
all these
country
people.
for all the people that
Yeah.
maybe can't get to Florida or California. And if you have something in the middle,
Yeah, true.
then that might
Make a
be
new
it.
one.
But then there's also I mean, there's lots of regional stuff. Like there's a place out here in Oklahoma called Frontier City. Although if you've been to Disney or Magic Mountain, then you're like, oh yeah,
right. It's
great.
like next tier
But
down.
yeah, but if you have never been to those, it's an amazing thing to go to. And it's literally 2 hours away from where I live. So it's not, I mean, I think it's people still want to go to Disney as a destination, but because we're all so internet based now, everything's, you can see things on the internet that you wouldn't have been able to see like when we were kids. That I don't know if
Right.
the kids of today appreciate it as much as maybe the adults do. Like the adults will have the memories and maybe they're the ones that want to go and the kids are like, yeah, whatever. And then the kids wind up having a good time. So, but yeah, I mean, Disney a long time ago went, let's just make as much money as we can. And we're just going to do everything. And,
Yeah, it was
and
Michael Eisner.
they're still doing it. Yeah. Oh, I think Walt back in the day, he knew how to make some money too. But yeah, I mean, I believe that they're out for the money and they're going to keep jacking those prices up until nobody comes and they're going to be like, maybe we should rethink this, or they'll close them down, one or the other. So.
Huh.
Well, back to topic. I have a story and actually involves Magic Mountain. So what was fun is that we went for my birthday once down, Southern California, and Eli had never been to Disneyland, or at least not that he could remember. He went when he was like 2 or something ridiculous like that. So like he didn't know. So we planned to go there, but then I had never been to Magic Mountain. So I was like, let's do both. Let's do both in that weekend. I was turning 28 and I had the biggest time of my life running around that theme park because it's all roller coasters, just living my inner best child. And it was funny because I had like a Batman cape on for most of the day. I can't remember if I won it from something or what, but I was like, fuck it, I'm Batman. And I remember people asking me like, oh, it's your birthday? Like, how old are you? Like 18? And I was like, oh, bless your heart. I got a decade on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's good to embrace your inner child and have that still be there. Like that's keeps you vital. It's just a matter of, is it okay? Like as long as you're still on top of all of your other responsibilities, like as long as you're not like neglecting your family or yourself in a way that is detrimental, like, yeah, go ahead and be a kid. It's fine.
Like any other addiction.
Yeah, exactly. Moderation is key. But I feel like I probably would say that collecting things and playing games is a lot healthier than drinking and smoking and things.
I mean, that was my dad's hobby.
Right?
Drinking and smoking or the gaming?
Yeah. No, drinking and smoking.
Okay, yeah, I do.
We all gotta have a hobby, right?
I mean, do you think because we, our generation, as we got more into the expendable income and the fact that we don't have the necessarily labor intensive manufacturing steel worker job, that we have the time to have a hobby to be able to relive the nostalgia that we had as kids?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the best thing about, as a kid, like wanting to grow up. I can't wait to be able to buy whatever the fuck I want to.
Right.
Like, you can't eat whatever you want to because at some point you might get diabetes. But outside of that, yeah, you can typically like go out and buy whatever you want. That model figure or whatever, and that's your thing. Buy it. You got the money to spend on that crazy, ridiculous chair that's like meant for gaming, which I probably should have because my fucking lumbar is shot. Go ahead and buy it. But that's the beauty of being an adult. Like if you make the money and you got it to spend, as long as all your other things are taken care of, like do it.
Yeah.
See,
That's the
I
beauty
wonder
of
about
capitalism right there.
I wonder about things like, okay, like, these are going to seem completely unrelated, but I think about them in similar ways or similar contexts. But I think about like medical diseases, and I think about adult children in the same way, right? Like, did all these things occur and happen like in our parents' generations and the generations before them? Like, like autism, was this something that has always been around, it just wasn't recognized? And adult collecting, is this something that, like, in the early turn of the centuries, there were adults that were collecting wind up tin toys or something like that, but we didn't have the media that's able to talk about that, and we didn't have the manufacturing that was able to mass produce things like, that would be from our childhood? Is it that the technology has changed and collectors as adults have always existed, but they just didn't have like a cool playing field, and now we do?
I
Or
think it's
is it
more
that
more
we
I
acceptable.
think that people have always been collecting things that they like to collect. I mean, look at hunters; they collect the heads of animals. I mean,
Or
little
trains.
old ladies like to collect a bunch of fucking plates. Go
Yeah.
figure. Like, the people have collections of all sorts. It's just not always necessarily toys. And
Right.
I severely doubt that people back in the day, considering how judgmental they were of each other in general, were
Yeah.
collecting a bunch of like children's toys. I mean, like, yeah, look at my collection. Isn't it awesome? Like, that's when they'd be like, honey, do we need to take you to the mental institution?
Well,
Right.
they'd be like, let's not talk to him ever again.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So-
Let's just all shun him as a community, and like,
Right.
Yeah.
don't go
Yeah.
by Mr. Birch's house. I hear he's got a bunch of Raggedy Andy's up in his closet.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it was always very the stereotype of it is always the lone guy that lived by himself in the house that had all these children's toys, and people were concerned about a grown person with children's toys and then showing it to children.
So that's
Well,
bad.
yeah, you can't really hang out with children, unfortunately.
Right.
Like that's
I mean,
crossing the line.
I mean, I always feel like that was the stereotype that was always associated with the hobby collecting of the
So
kids
when
stuff.
did that change? And when you were talking about the lone guy, does that stereotype appear for women? I will tell you, I used to work at a children's clothing store in the mall. And we used to have this lady come in, and this lady was like in her late 50s, probably her 60s. But somebody's popping in. Oh, yay! Let's see who it is. Dun, 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 dun. It's
Hey.
Aubrey.
On me.
So-
I'm up.
So we used to have this lady that used to come in, and the children's clothing store I worked at was a high-end children's clothing store. So these weren't cheap clothing. It wasn't like $2 and $3 pants and things like these. These were like, whole outfits that were $150.
Okay, quit
put
bragging,
together.
Van, dear God.
The point of the matter is, she had dolls like
Mhm.
in her living room, and she would come and buy these clothing for dolls, and these were like she would tell me how much she would spend, up to like $10,000 on these porcelain beautiful dolls, I guess, that just sit there, and she would dress them up, and I don't know if she hung out with them or talked to them or what it was, but
Right.
I mean, like, does she fall in that category, or is that a whole
Yeah, I think
different
so.
thing?
I think so.
Well,
I mean, like I said, I don't. For me personally, I don't have the stuff I had growing up because at some point in time, my parents you're 12, you shouldn't have your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or your Batman action figures. You have to sell them. You have to grow up.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I had that happen to me. My mom put out all of my Pokemon cards at a garage sale without telling me. I had a holofoil Charizard.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, do you have any idea how much that was worth? She's like, well, what? You need to get out of this. People are going to think you're a nerd. I was like, mother, I'm 16 and that shit was fucking valuable.
It was.
I have a story about
agree,
that.
Anthony.
Yeah, my mom. So my mom always, she used to tell me, hey, whatever you do, don't scar your face because you're pretty. And if you're pretty, then you should always be pretty. And so this is what I grew up with. So I loved Wonder Woman. As you can tell, I've got the shirt on, it's Wonder Woman on it. So I've always loved Wonder Woman. And I got the comics. I had, I started getting comics and stuff. Well, she decided that I didn't need to have the Wonder Woman comics anymore. So she just decided to throw it all away. She didn't sell it. She just threw, well, you were done reading it. So I'm just going to throw it away. And I'm like, what? So she didn't have any idea. Once I sat her down and explained it to her, she realized. And then I started collecting comic books for real. And she didn't touch them. But it was, yeah. I mean, I think we all have stories like that. I mean, parents didn't understand what we liked, just like I'm sure their parents didn't understand what they liked. So, but I do agree, as adults, we can buy what we want. And I think that's where the collecting comes in. It's just, we have more access to the nerdy stuff that we liked as a kid because, and I'm going to say this, Star Wars changed the game for everyone. You had everybody collecting Star Wars figures. Hasbro had those little, paper things where you just pre-ordered stuff and you could, so I mean, it changed everything. So I think toy ownership and collecting has become a lot more mainstream because Star Wars was such a big hit and it really showed other companies how they could market things and how they could make more money off of those characters. So
yeah, like for me, if you were able to see my office with my stuff, people always say with the electronics, I'm like, you look like a rich kid from 1995. I go, thank you.
Right.
I didn't
That's
have
what we
this
all
stuff in
aspire to be.
1995. Right.
That's fun. I love it.
Yeah, so I have
the movie Blank Check now. Oh God.
Yeah, so I have. That's why.
Rich Blank.
Yeah.
Anthony, bringing back childhood memories here.
I mean, that's why I didn't have these things, in the 90s. So I have a Laserdisc player. I have over 200 Laserdiscs. I have every video game system. So that's my collection. It's just because I missed out on it growing up. So that's my collection now.
Say Wong brings up an interesting thing, little comment here, and I'm wondering, is there a difference? He says this does not happen in sports memorabilia, right? Do we look at that differently in society?
I would say that our parents
somebody
didn't
who's
do that.
Well, I mean, obviously people collected Babe Ruth baseball cards and autographed memorabilia. But is it somehow seen different to collect sports memorabilia than it is to collect your favorite cartoon actor's autograph on a pop doll?
I think culturally it's accepted differently, but I don't think it's any different.
I agree with Anthony. That's what I was trying to say when I'm like, no. But when I'm shaking my head, no, it's not because I don't agree with that they are the same thing. What I do, what I disagree is that they are
accepted.
They are looked differently, but they are the same. I guess maybe that's what it was. Right. But for me, because for some reason, if you like sports, it's because you're someone who's is aggressive and go-getter, and I don't know why, but it's like for some reason the violence of the game is seen, it's hyper masculine and it's hyper like.
Well, it depends on the sport. I mean, figure skating's a little bit more feminine. I feel in nature,
but that's not considered a sport.
The Olympics
not in the same way.
Not in the same way with sports memorabilia. I agree with you on that. Sports teams are entirely.
It's like gymnastics. I mean, it's not two people. It's not two teams battling against each other. At least not in the way that you think they would.
Right.
That's what I mean by that. I don't mean it.
Curling is an Olympic sport.
Curling is awesome.
I'm talking about
leagues and things like that have like gotten the mainstream attention. Baseball, football, basketball.
That's what I'm talking about. Soccer. They are not. Yeah, they are considered to be manly if you have it. Right. If you have those things, and again, I'm putting quotes around because it's all stupid, but not stupid in the way that they say, "Oh, this is fine, but this is wrong." You know what I mean?
Well, I think
the key
or one is childish and one is
one's childish, one is like if you're a man.
Well, and the truth is one is adult because we're watching adults play each other, right? Like it's
that's what
it's
it
an
is.
Athleticism thing that normal people can't necessarily do this. So it's entertaining and exciting to see like how
you get all the pros together and get
right. There's something that is enthralling, but I do think it does come back to you were saying something that's kind of barbaric or combative. And it does kind of go back to like those roots back in the days of like the Coliseum and shit. People like a contest that has some sort of violence to it, just because,
Or
like,
stakes.
yeah, look at them kick some ass, you know.
Right. Violence or stakes. Is it? What?
Yes.
Morgan.
Oh,
Sorry, my
and
cat.
say Wong, I don't have the AES, but I have the Neo Geo CD instead.
That's
I heard somebody
love
say
you.
that sports was kind of like cosplay for jocks.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
no,
But and hey,
I
I'm
like
sorry,
people.
football's just a little sus. I'm just saying, tightest pants possible for any sports players. And then they have like that big old bulky top for all the armor to make them look all buff and shit.
I've
They
always
know what
thought
they're
that it
doing.
was.
They like to slap each other on the ass. I'm
Mhm.
there with you. I love the sport just for those aspects. Outside of that, don't understand a goddamn thing about football. I don't
Always thought boxing was a little bit sus. These are two half-naked men fighting for a purse.
Well, fighting's different though. We don't see like boxer memorabilia to the same extent as we
Not
do
the
like
same way,
baseball
yeah.
or
No.
football stuff. Like I
or
don't know.
basketball, football, basketball, and
Like team sports. It's mostly
Yeah.
team
right,
sports.
team
Yeah.
sports is specifically, which is so strange to me.
Yeah. I mean, I
I get it, but
love
I don't get it.
basketball, and I've collected cards. I'm a collector by nature. I just
I have
collect
some
things.
cards too.
I'm a hoarder.
Yeah. So, but
Same.
I do agree. I mean, that's all. It's okay because it's masculine and it's you're supposed to like stuff like that, and it's the team getting together, and but it's like, well, what about the JLA? They're a team.
Right.
There's a lot of guys on that. They don't slap each other's ass as far as I know. They might, and you know what? That's okay. But it really honestly it is, oh, you collect toys. You collect we collect cards. These are going to be worth something someday. Well, so are my toys. They're going to be worth something too, and it's just like I don't know. But yes, nerds get a bad rap, and it's because they collect stuff. And you know what?
Right.
We should all be proud of that because we collect something. We have a commitment to it. This is the longest relationship I've ever had is with my toys. But different toys.
Okay, so so I just spent $950 on a lightsaber to get it, buy it, get it installed by, a particular installer, get certain sound fonts from a certain friend installed onto it. I spent $950, and then, I was thinking about, oh my God, dude, that's got to be like the nerdiest thing. But then I watch these TikTok videos and I see people talking about, oh, it's $4,500 for these Jordans or this pair of shoes. And I was like, dude, are you smoking crack? And then I feel like, wait, who am I to judge somebody else's hobby when I just paid $950 for a glow stick, essentially?
I feel like the difference there is, are you buying something because of the status it gives you, or are you buying it because it's something you like?
That's the thing I think
that's
the
it.
difference.
Because if it's to impress other people, then you're buying things for the wrong reason.
Sports.
I hate
That's
fashion
what I think a
labels.
lot
I
of
think
people
most
do.
of them are hideous. I do not understand Michael Kors. I do not understand why people like Michael Kors. I think they're the ugliest fucking bags ever. It's
They
a
really
plain
are.
ass bag that's just got his fucking symbol on it, and that's it.
Like people buy
but
Yeezys,
Kate
dude.
Spade makes a good bag.
Yeah, I
Spade's
have a
bags
couple of bags from her.
they're classic. Like with Michael Kors, it's like bleh, bleh. But
Yeah. Well,
I
and
don't
you
know.
just said
I'm a
something
Kate
about
Spade girl.
Yeezy, and Kanye's fucking fashion's terrible. I'm sorry. Here's the bunch of tan and taupe things that look really baggy and basic. Like I dyed something from Walmart because I'm
And
pretty sure that's what he did.
it's
But
urban
okay.
camouflage.
Oh my-
And sure, if that's what you want to
Dude,
tell yourself.
Wearing Yeezys is
Urban
like
camouflage.
having
Yeah, you're gonna blend right into the
bread on
background.
your
You're
feet.
boring as fuck. You're in beige.
Wearing Yeezys,
But
they
this
should call
is
them
fashion.
Yeezys because it looks
This
like
is-
bread loaves.
I'm about dying here. I'm laughing at you guys talking about this. It's hilarious.
All right, James.
Yeah,
James says there's something about having something tangible from something you connect with, like how Star Wars action figures when the movie came out, or Funko Pops or anything that you might be into. Having a tangible
that's
connection to the property, I can see that. That definitely makes sense.
I mean, this is why I collect jackets, so I can connect with Michael Jackson.
I love collecting
There you
jackets. It's my favorite thing about this time of year. I get to wear all of my jackets out and about. Like, so every day I show up at work, look at my different jacket from yesterday. It's luxurious.
And it has pockets.
Everything must have pockets.
Absolutely.
Pockets to every goddamn dress I own. I was going to say with Funko Pops, though, I was really disappointed at Stockton Con. They had like millions of those things. And I'm talking like every single booth had Funko Pops for like everything you could think of, except for the character I was dressed up as, which was Mrs. Dr. the Monarch, and I was pissed.
Aww.
You were Mrs. Dr. the Monarch? Oh
Yes.
my
Dr.
God.
Yes,
the Monarch, and I could not find a single Venture Brothers anything anywhere. And I was
That's
like,
a shame.
really?
That's
Is
a
this
shame.
not culturally relevant?
Venture Brothers stuff is so hard to find. My husband, he actually loves Venture Brothers, and I like one year was like, I'm getting him Venture Brothers stuff, and I couldn't really find anything that was good.
I just found
I
some
know,
costumes
like
online.
7 people that really knew who the fuck I was when I was there. It was classic. Like, oh my God. And I was like, oh yeah, yes, darling, you can take a picture with me. Come on, just come on over.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He actually dressed up as Mrs. Dr. Monarch and was in character the whole show.
The whole
That's
show.
awesome.
Amazing.
The entire show.
That is awesome.
That and the time I was Bane, right?
Right.
I didn't get to be there for that one.
Going this way.
Right. You were a master of commitment. That is for sure.
Again, I need a character to do with this shit on my face. I don't want to just rock Jesus. That would be weird.
Well,
Maybe I'll save that for
God.
December. Like, if I keep the beard through December, it'll be long enough by then.
do it.
Graveyard, did you have something?
Yeah.
You were gonna
Well,
say?
with James talked about collectibles, so what I was thinking, why it's acceptable for sports cards is because we say that doesn't happen in sports memorabilia, but the reason why our parents told us to collect cards and keep them is because they threw away their stuff as kids.
And they became super valuable.
They became super valuable. So now we did the same thing with sports cards, and they're not worth anything. So now we have other things in place like that. So we have, for me, NES games. I would buy NES games for $20 and they'd be worth like $1,000 because that tangible thing is there. And James is right. NFTs it's digital. We grew up analog, right? So if we didn't have a physical copy of it, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling of it. It's you I collect way too many things. But yeah, it's nice. That was the reason why like my mom was like, you're gonna collect Barbies, or we're gonna have Barbies and the special editions. Like, don't open them, don't touch them.
Right.
Because
that's the worst. If you're gonna be that kind of parent, you buy 2. You buy one to keep for posterity and the other one for the fucking kid to play with.
I was on board. I was on board with that though. I had an
Just like
Arabian. I have an Arabian Lights Jasmine from 1992 or 93, and she's still in her box, and that was my decision. I did not
Pug said on She-Hulk, one to rock and one to stock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do that
Pug
with my
is a
video game
man
systems.
of wisdom.
Yes.
Pug is a man of wisdom.
Yeah, my kids have their own systems that's theirs, and I have my own systems that are mine.
There you go.
Oh yeah, when my son was little, he knew these are mommy's toys and these are your toys. When you get older, you might get these toys from mommy. And so so that was very much like that. But I do the same thing. Like I'm like, okay, I want to open this and take this to work, or I want to open it and have it, in the house somewhere. And so I have 2 of a couple Funko Pops of Wonder Woman that I absolutely adore. So
do you guys agree with Frey that because I think about where the turning point was, what exactly happened? Do you guys agree that it was Star Wars, that it was George Lucas that opened the doors to adults being kids and it being okay? And if so, I mean, that was obviously a very long process for that to happen because, I know, okay, I look at in the lightsaber world, and maybe Fours might be able to back me up, but it seems like right around the time Disney took over Star Wars was when it's Star Wars started blowing up and becoming more socially acceptable. Like you'd see hot chicks in like R2D2 dresses, or you know what I mean. It just seemed like it became more mainstream than before, when it was like, you know, you and your buddy watching it, you know, at your house.
I would have to say, in regards to that, it didn't start when Disney took that over. I would say that started when the whole gamer girl complex began, when, you know, some of these ladies had realized, like, okay, well, I'm going to make easy money on the internet by dressing like what these dudes want me to dress in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that they can go online and make money putting on a Princess Leia outfit, even though they have no interest in it and they don't even know what Star Wars is, but they know that they'll get a bunch of creepy guys just to look at them. And it kind of started. That's when it kind of started. And it's the whole thing with the gamer concept. Like, they didn't play the games, they cosplayed from the games, and it was a long time ago. But it was long before Episode 7 came out.
Because that started by what, 2005 ish.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about 70s. I was talking about original Star Wars. That's like,
I mean, well, I would say it was
Hasbro.
It's Hasbro and Hanna-Barbera. I really think that was because they were the big. That was the big companies, you know, and Mattel. Mattel as well. Mattel. I mean, that was when that really became a big thing. Like, hey, get this collectible thing. Because I mean, I've seen collectibles as far back that they've had since like the 60s. So this is not quite a new thing, but it is kind of ingrained. Probably not so much for us, and probably not so much for, I think, our parents, because they were the baby boomer. You know, and that was kind of a retaliation of the silent generation, you know, that lived through the Depression.
And so that's what I was talking about with the slow builds. Is like I feel like Star Wars in the 70s, when he started making the action figures, that was when it, you know, more adults, I guess, were collecting things or saw the value in it. So it slowly started becoming acceptable. But I feel like it didn't really, you know, it didn't really become mainstream culturally acceptable until a lot more recently. Yeah. It used to be, you know.
Yeah, the collector is a lot. It's more, I mean, it's not as, I mean, it is and it isn't, like a more newer thing. Like you had people that would collect, like, say, like ancient antiques, like you know,
coins. They like, a lot of people like to collect coins,
instruments and stuff, and coins. Yeah, that, I mean, collecting's been around forever. And paintings, people collect paint. I mean, how many did Hitler steal during World War II?
Right.
Alan, what were you doing? What were you saying? What are you doing?
I was trying to say, I had to look it up to verify that I wasn't crazy, and I wasn't correct, because when you mentioned Star Wars, I was thinking the 70s one too. But I will tell you where this really originated, I believe firmly, at least in my head, which was the 1966 Batman TV show with Adam West.
Yes.
That campiness and culture is what kind of started this. And you were talking about Hanna-Barbera and like Hasbro and all that stuff. They were the ones making all the cartoons back then. That was something that people were really into. And it wasn't until Star Wars, when they started making all of the action figures, that's when they were like, hey, we got a market for this kind of shit. And then suddenly you see that with every big cartoon or Enterprise or whatever you had, with Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant
Cobra Commander.
Yeah. Everything. G.I. Joe. Everything. Like, hi, you saw this made cartoon right now. Buy the action figure that's modeled after the same other 5 character models, but with a different head. And there you go. Different colors, different head, new toy.
Called it.
It's almost like the TV shows were made to sell the toys.
Right.
By the power of Grayskull.
Yes.
But I think
Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar. Oh my God, I love Julie Newmar. But I mean, I think what Disney brought to the whole, like, going back to Star Wars, the Star Wars part of it, they just know how to market. They really know how to sell stuff. And I think that's why there was a huge explosion of Star Wars stuff, and it was more accessible because Disney had the funds to do it, and they already had
they bought Star Wars as a property, was to sell bullshit merchandise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Iterate the same story 3 times.
And make
Right.
sure they have different costumes on in each act, so you can
Yeah.
sell 3 toys instead of
Right.
one. So.
Well, I mean, I remember when Phantom Menace was coming out. This is 1999. I was 14, and we're talking about how Star Wars is a slow build. It was not acceptable for me to like Star Wars in my high school to go be excited for Phantom Menace. I remember that distinctly. Like I had a folder.
But you
I-
didn't have the
That
beard
was
then,
for being
right?
a nerd, right?
Did I have
you
the beard
like
then? I
that?
had a beard in high school. I had a mustache at like 11. So.
Oh my god. Okay, well, never mind. Because I was gonna say maybe it was the beard. Maybe they just.
But yeah, even so. I think when the Phantom Menace came out, Star Wars still wasn't that huge of a cultural experience. That was still considered a kid's thing, and being in high school, and that was a nerd thing. That was not acceptable. Like people in high school with the newer trilogy that exists.
Well, comic books in general.
Let's just face it that Matt's really a dwarf. We just have to realize that
dwarf barbarian.
yes.
There you go. That's
So-
He's a dwarf barbarian.
James has a comment.
Dwarf. They're badass. So anyway,
James has a comment online here. I find
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Transformers started the phenomenon of creating media around selling a toy. What I want to say about that specifically, I actually went to school for early childhood development, and in that time period, what's very interesting was in the 60s and 70s, you had a Child Protective Act that said that you could not air on television any product that a child could mistake as real. So you couldn't have like a Transformers commercial on during a Transformers cartoon.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
that law changed in the 80s, and that's
course
why
it
you
did.
saw this huge Transformers had a cartoon, He-Man had a cartoon, G.I. Joe, all these toy lines that directly lined up with all these cartoons. What's up to Leo really quick? Hello.
Yeah, and to your point, Van, it's if you watch the series, The Toys That Made Us, they go very heavy into details. on
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's a really
Yeah.
good series. That's on Netflix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And that,
Yeah,
I think that really flipped when that happened. I mean, there was a lot of
Yeah.
things. It's really interesting how certain things like have crazes. Like, I don't remember if I was talking about with you, Mr. Forrest, but like Sailor Moon and all that. Liking that when I was in middle school and in grade school and high school, like that was not cool. And then
Cool.
and then
Yeah,
suddenly
we did talk about that.
boomed. It boomed, and everyone was into Sailor Moon. It was like I had to use like code words.
yes.
I was not cool. Like I was super into Sailor Moon, and it was like not something that was like part of the cool kids.
Yeah.
So, and it's just really funny how these things blew up. Just like if you liked Power Rangers, like you were kind of a pariah when you were my age, but as you got older, it got cooler.
Yes.
Yeah,
funny. And now it's like
think that's I think that's
funny.
I think part of it because Aubrey to go back to you, we're talking like this started, you got to think about started in the late 60s, early 70s, and then
Star Trek. It was actually, Star
Yeah.
Trek was a big thing too because there's
Yeah.
figurines in Star Trek as well, and there were collection things happening then.
Right.
So, and
Yeah,
lots of
absolutely.
even nerds
But
that
yeah,
collected a
you
lot of
were.
Star
I
Trek
mean,
stuff.
I think all of us were called nerds, or we had to creatively hide our nerdness
yeah.
so that we could be accepted.
That's
And
because
now
it's
it's
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
the teacher's pet. I was the teacher's
Right.
pet.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
So I read.
But then you've also got like my son who's 19 now. He had a lot of teachers that were into Doctor Who, that were into Star Trek, Star Wars, all that. So I think that it's becoming more mainstream because we are the adults.
Yeah.
And
And we are big kids, right?
before. Yeah. So I think it's more okay to be a kid now, to go through our second childhood, because now we can proudly say, hey, we like this too. I think where it goes wrong is when you've got these 50-year-old people that are like, well, you can't like Star Wars because I like Star Wars, or it's not the same Star Wars, or it's not the same Star Trek, or oh, it's not my Sailor Moon.
Trek, right?
Right, yeah. And it's like, why can't it all be that? Just because it's wasn't made when you were a kid doesn't mean it's not valid. So I think
Right.
that's part of it too.
The gatekeepers. What's up,
Yeah,
John?
it's the gatekeepers.
I don't know. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's just as good, though. Like the new DuckTales kind of has me concerned in that sense.
Well, I loved the movie, the Rescue Rangers movie. That was off the hook, but I haven't seen
that
the
recent?
DuckTales yet.
I didn't see
That
that.
shit
Yeah,
was
it's like
dark
live
as
action.
fuck.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to watch it. I was actually talking about something. Was it on the last one, or the one before? I don't remember. But there's this cartoon called Turtles Forever, and it has every iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh wow.
Even like they even got the voice actors for the original '80s cartoon. As much as they could get. I think it was one of Uncle Carl's last performances as Shredder. But like they tried getting everybody back. I mean, it might have been someone else
Uncle
or
Phil.
just imitation. Uncle Phil, sorry,
Yeah.
Uncle Phil. I didn't watch. I didn't have a television, so I couldn't really watch Prince of Bel Air.
I just think it's funny you said Uncle Carl, and I went straight to Carl Winslow, and I'm like, yeah, Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow were actually confused if you didn't watch the shows often.
Are you talking about the recent Chippendale one where it's like the part CG and
Yes.
part live?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
people are calling it a
that's
Roger Rabbit, like you know, like the next
Nothing
Roger
beats
Rabbit.
Roger
Nothing.
Rabbit.
No.
Nothing.
Never will. Ever.
Yes, James Avery.
Of course,
That's exactly
I'm just
James Avery.
James
the
Avery.
spiritual predecessors. What they're saying. Although, like, I want to point out, say Wong made a comment, and he is very true. That movie has very dark undertones. That movie was
yeah.
kind of fucked
a
up.
lot of
It's a big Disney scandal. I thought we talked about this actually.
I mean,
Yeah, we did.
Disney,
We
Disney
did talk
had
about
its
this
dark
in a different-
times in the 80s. Dark times. There was a lot of movies in the 80s.
No, this is the movie that just came out like 2 years
ago.
ago.
I know, but I'm just saying, you think Rescue Rangers was all completely light and fun and games? It wasn't. It had some pretty dark undertones, even for the show.
There's
That's what
a
I'm trying to
lot of
say.
stuff that in the 80s where like I look at that and I'm like, I would never let a 6-year-old watch this.
My sister has a whole skit. It's called Things That Traumatized Us in the 80s. And she talks about all of that. It's like she has this whole thing. It's really funny, but she's like, yeah. Just go ahead. Go watch Monster Squad. It's fine.
Anthony private chat.
Yeah,
Hey, the Batman animated series is epic and brilliant, and it's still dark as fuck.
Yes,
yeah.
That
it
has
is.
some serious undertones going on in that one too.
But it also gave
Which
us
one?
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't.
Favorite,
for sure, for
favorite
sure.
series. One of my favorite animated series is
Mm-hmm.
the Batman. And
No,
I'm really
Gargoyles.
sad.
Gargoyles had another one that was super,
Gargoyles
Really
is
super
great.
fantastic. Can I just say shout out to Kevin Conroy? I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's why I have
freaking
this.
hero.
Rest in peace.
Hashtag my Batman.
Rest in power.
My Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in power.
Oh god.
Anthony,
Don't
check
take
private
one
chat.
Lambo from us.
Yeah, Anthony, check private chatting. There was a question for you there.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, if we have some time at the end of this next topic, because I have a feeling this next topic is going to run short. If we have some time, we'll go back to that Rescue Rangers because there's some really dark shit that surrounds that movie, particularly with the plot of the movie being a Disney scandal that they had covered up from like the 50s or 60s or something like that.
This already?
Yeah, we did. We talked about this on
Okay,
but we
it's
have
just
new
part two.
people. Sometimes
Okay,
they don't know about, you and I were the
News
OGs. We've been around for a long time.
Can I just say I love your background there, Anthony? By the way,
you.
it's pretty amazing.
Oh, did you see his shirt?
Though.
Stand up again and show your
it
shirt.
matches.
Isn't that cute?
I love it. Yes. But then again, Anthony knows that I love him and adore his fashion and everything else. This is why we get along so well, right, dear?
My questionable fashion choices. It's hit or miss with me.
It's true. But I love it.
What's up, Kevin? Kevin Hogan, our producer on Saber Rattle, is in. Disney was trying to make live action gargoyles, but never did.
God, I wish they
That might have
would.
been kind of
That's a
I'm
fucking Disney
actually
movie
kinda
that should
happy.
happen. Oh, it'd be so good.
That was
wow, Darker
Keith, that was
Version.
Keith
yeah,
David,
James.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cape
I
Crusaders.
heard that Jordan Peele was
Anybody-
trying to get in on that actually.
They were about
With
to go
Cape
back.
Crusaders?
Wait, with Kevin, they were going to do Cape Crusaders. I'm so mad.
Yeah.
That makes me mad.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sad.
Right, the Peter Pan thing. Say Wong. Yes.
Peter Pan?
There was a connection in
Yeah.
that movie to a scandal that they hid or kind of covered up, a Disney scandal from the 50s.
Oh, I want to hear this. Okay, so I do want to hear this. Please
Yeah.
tell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, does anybody else know about Frey? You know about this
No.
one?
No, I don't.
no.
I don't
Oh.
know. I know there
this
was
is gonna be
one.
a
I just don't know
Graveyard's
what it
Alley.
is, so.
Graveyard will be into this. He's like into the spooky shit. Okay, so the original Pinocchio. So if you guys watch the Rescue Rangers, I'll try as much as possible not to give away too many spoilers. But one of the people that you find out is a bad guy in this movie. His backstory is that he used to work for Disney, and then he got fired because he grew up. He started becoming a teenager, and he wasn't the cute little boy anymore. And he got fired from Disney, and he ended up becoming like homeless and dying on the street of like drug addiction and stuff like that. But he was like the Disney princess when he was a child, or prince when he was a child.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's what part of Rescue Rangers, the story, is based on. This is the backstory of one of those characters, but that's actually a true thing that happened at Disney.
Oh, that is sad. That is horrible. And just goes to show you that whole system of the studios running everything is not the way it should have been, because all they did was exploit those children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought that he was
I said
partially
Pinocchio
kicked out
was
because he had like questionable, like
Well, I think there was questions
that
to
was
his
to
sexuality.
his sexuality.
And-
exactly.
And,
that was a
and that's why
that
they're like,
was
nope, you can't be there for the
another
brand
issue.
because you're a homosexual, or
Yeah.
it's rumored or whatever.
right. That was
And
another reason for them to justify letting him go. He was getting
essentially
older.
Haley
He
Joel
was a
Osment.
little
Okay,
kid.
like that's what happened with that one.
But there's a whole whole thing going on in Hollywood, anyways. So
Yeah, it's creepy.
Oh yeah,
it's
there's
creepy.
a lot
So
of
creepy. A lot of
It's happening everywhere.
cool
It's not
things.
just Hollywood.
It's not. No, you're absolutely
Hard topic
100% right
for
there.
another day. Sex
Sorry.
trafficking.
Apologize.
yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make this. Boy, I always go and make this dark, don't I? I'm just so.
Well, I was like, we were literally at
Sorry.
segue moment, and then suddenly we're taking this big left turn into you're all
right off the
fucking
cliff.
deflected. Okay.
As Bugs Bunny would say,
Who
left turn
grabbed
at
the goddamn
Albuquerque.
wheel on this one?
Me.
Obviously, thought to that. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Way to
So we're
spoil
gonna
it,
switch
God.
up. We are at the hour mark.
I'm here for.
This is. I feel like this is one of those like writing assignments you have to do like the week of Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? I want you to write a one-page writing assignment. Must be at least 3 paragraphs.
College-wide paper.
Be specific.
I don't-
College
don't
rule.
have COVID.
College rule.
That's what I'm thankful for. Full stop.
You don't have to-
Yeah.
No, actually, both my housemates
Believe
have.
me, that's what I'm
have
thankful
COVID.
for.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I was like, nope, can't be sick. Cannot have any of this happen. I got the show tomorrow. I can't miss it.
Right. Yeah.
I took a test today.
Right.
So I'm keeping my distance from them so I don't get anything.
Fingers crossed for you.
All right, dude. Karate
Keeping
chop
it-
them in the throat if they come anywhere near you.
Spray bottle, just
Well,
like you would with the cats. Spray bottle. Spray bottle.
Just do
That'll
some,
keep them away.
do some distance
Resort
learning
to
with them.
violence first.
That's what I'm doing.
Right, exactly.
Oh man, Ash
Wong says,
Ketchum
"I'm thankful
achieved
for Ash
the
Ketchum."
championship. Sorry, go ahead.
All right,
so,
guys. Who wants to start this off? Who's
dear
Oh, yeah.
Kyber Cave After Dark. No, I'm just kidding. I'm thankful for a lot of things. I always, I say this, and it's such a cliche, but I'm thankful for my child.
Oh.
He's the best adult that I could have raised, because he's 19 now.
Mm.
But he's kind and so kind and considerate. Would seriously saw off his arm to help someone. We haven't tested that, which is good. But I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for my husband. I have 2 wonderful corgis and 1 wonderful mutt. I'm thankful for those. I'm thankful for my mom. Family I'm thankful for. But I'm also very thankful that I have a lot of Wonder Women. figures behind me. So I am thankful for that too, that I could actually spend my money on that or get them as gifts. Because, I tell people all the time when they ask, what do you want for your birthday or Christmas or whatever holiday or Tuesday present? I'm just like, just give me something Wonder Woman. If I already have it, guess what? I'll just open it and play with it. So you can't lose. So I guess that's what I'm thankful for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sorry, I meant to put you in the main thing. I messed up. That was fantastic. Anybody else who wants to go next? Bueller.
I can go next. If
I'm
you
gonna.
want.
I'm just
Fine.
fucking. I'm taking someone then.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Like I said, there's obviously family and stuff like that, but luckily with my current job and the jobs I've had over the pandemic, I've been able to work remotely and not have to go into the office.
Awesome.
Because realistically, I have my parents' house to take care of and my in-laws, and my father-in-law had a heart transplant a couple years ago, so he can't do a lot of stuff. And so he has to be on medication. So if I got COVID and went over there and he got it, it could be very detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
So really just being able to stay kind of out of the public for the past couple of years and stay healthy myself just to take care of my family. It's been really great for me for that. Also, and it's Kyber Cave. I mean, you guys are giving me a great place to do more nerd out stuff that I have. Hopefully more retro gaming.
Nerds.
More to come.
Yeah.
Wait, are we nerds? Is that what we are?
No, we're normal now. We're normal now.
We're norms.
Yeah.
We're not nerds.
And then
Oh no, that's even worse.
We're old.
We're old. Yeah.
Speak for yourself,
just be able
Anthony.
to use all the retro gaming stuff. Finally, tell my wife, hey, I have a use for this stuff now.
It's awesome.
This is work now.
So worth it.
Exactly.
So
But
you
you're
can
lucky
hug
for
it
no-
and it'll bring you joy. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think I used to teach adult literacy at the library on a weekly basis, and I think sometimes it's not always our fault, but it's easy to forget how much we have to be thankful about because we don't have reference points, right? When everybody around you owns 2 cars and has a TV in every room and has a nice bed and has air conditioning and stuff, it's hard to remember that 80% of the planet doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there are a lot of people. For me, the first time I went back to Vietnam, I was 19 years old. And it was such a culture shock for me. But I really think for me, it was an informative and important thing to happen, especially at that age, for me transitioning into adulthood, because I really did, when I went to the country and saw, 4 cousins sleeping in one bed, I wasn't complaining about my tiny bed anymore. You know what I mean? When I saw one TV for the whole village, I wasn't complaining about not having a TV in my room anymore.
Yeah.
But I think when everybody else has these things around you, or maybe some people have nicer things than you do, and so you start feeling like, oh man, I don't really have anything because I don't have a boat like Bob does. You know what I mean? Like,
You can't compare yourself to others, though.
I agree.
That's the thing. Like, the sad truth is that typically, if somebody's got all that going on, I'm certain that their parents already had a lot of wealth and equity. They probably paid for their schooling. There's a lot of other factors going into it where you could be successful. It's not just because, they worked really hard doing that summer gig over In and Out. Like
they pulled themselves up by them bootstraps.
Yeah, exactly.
Did all them? No, it's a lie. That's a lie.
Right.
Yeah.
At least for
Right.
the people.
For the majority of people. There are the random few that are like, I won the lottery for playing the first time when I was 18. Cool. Awesome. But outside of that,
Right. So I think for me, especially when I was teaching adult literacy, it was it was easy for me to stay in thankfulness mode as opposed to being thankful at Thanksgiving time. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like I saw all the time around me people that were coming to this country and trying to learn a new language. And, not to take this into adult literacy or anything like that, that could be a whole different topic for a different night. But I used to get pissed off when people would would shit on immigrants or make fun of somebody's English or something. I was like, dude, motherfucker, do you speak 2 languages? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are
Bitch, I'm
learning.
trying to learn
a second
Italian right
language.
now. That thing's difficult, and my family's from there.
Yeah,
No, I mean, it's
just because somebody
true.
doesn't speak your language doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. I had one gentleman who was a lawyer in his former country who is now a pizza delivery man because his credentials didn't transfer to this country, so he literally had to start from nothing again, and he was happy to do it because he felt he had more opportunity as a pizza delivery man than he did having a nice job back in his home country.
Interesting.
No, and I mean,
and I've seen that.
is
I've seen it a lot. I'm just like, that's
Yeah.
really interesting.
No, I mean, you see it every day. I mean, I've been saying this for probably more this week than I think I have in a while. But kindness costs nothing. Being kind costs nothing, and that's saying in that same vein of knowing what you're thankful for, but also knowing that other people have a different set of
struggles,
milestones to get to I'm thankful I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head, or I'm thankful, it's that kind of stuff where we're like, oh, I'm thankful I can collect toys, I mean that. So first world hashtag first world problems, right? But it is that, and it's the same thing with somebody who mispronounces a word. They read it somewhere and they just don't know how it's pronounced. So it's hard
I work
to
at a Greek restaurant. I've heard 15 different ways to say gyro.
Right? Yeah. But they that they read it, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying.
Yeah, they read
So
it. They just completely misinterpreted how to read it. But it's
right.
Okay.
Exactly. I tend to add additional letters into words and say them weirdly, and that's okay. But I mean that. But
We just know that you're really French. That's all.
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna
Parlez-vous, whatever. So.
No, I just mean adding the extra words, the silent.
Oh
the
yeah,
silent letters.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
No, that's just me. That's just a Jen thing. I've just done it all my
well,
life. But I mean,
it's that way in the
it's the same
Midwest.
thing.
Let's face it.
Yeah, it is. There's a you don't pronounce the P, you don't pronounce the G, you don't pronounce that Q somewhere in the middle of the word. So.
Yeah.
Forrest, are you deep into your editing over there?
You've been awfully silent there.
Because he's been editing.
Yeah, he looks like he's like, I don't even think he hears
right
me.
now. He's got a deadline.
Mr. Forrest, are you okay?
What's up, Mrs. Forrest?
He doesn't even realize we're talking to him.
Are you okay?
I'm all right, honey.
All right. That's good. What are you thankful for, dear?
You don't want me to go right now. Save me for last.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Wow.
And Dave's going to wish he was here, too.
Oh, it's me. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I actively do this on a regular basis to kind of combat regular depression. But I count my blessings all the time. And I always try to remind people of this too. When, people always talk about, oh, my day was so terrible, or, oh, I have this going on. Again, I just spent 6 days fucking laid up in bed because my foot wants to fuck up. But at the same time, I'm always thankful and I count my blessings in the sense that I do have a roof over my head. I don't live with roommates. I have the ability to choose what do I want to eat on a regular daily basis and be indecisive as fuck about that. That right there is the greatest first world problem. If you ask yourself, what do I want to eat? And then you go, nah.
Right.
Yeah, that in itself is such a fucking lovely privilege that I hope that everyone should really just take account into. But
right.
The fact that I have,
who even thinks about that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, who even thinks about that? I mean, that is such a good. Some people eat whatever they can get their hands on.
How good they got it. I have a device in my hand that literally lets me watch any movie, look up any possible fact, and watch porn whenever I fucking want to, along with a plethora of free social media sites or games that I can use to inseparably take up my time. Like, that's why when this generation is like, oh my God, America's so terrible, I'm just like, you have literally never struggled. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God, it's so hard. Why? You're fucking 12. Shut your fucking goddamn mouth, please.
Oh my God, I don't have the newest
iPad
iPhone.
14. Like, I
mean,
I didn't have a phone until I was 19. Dear God.
Same.
Yep.
You were literally getting information shot to you from space within milliseconds.
Yeah, think about living 100 years ago where you possibly grew most of your own food. Like, imagine how much that sucks if, like, oh shit, the broccoli didn't come in. Well, guess
That
we're
is
eating potatoes again
pity.
tonight.
Right. What about
I was just talking about this.
encyclopedias? Remember encyclopedias?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, actually, I used to read them for fun.
Right? But
I did.
if
I did.
you
I read them
gave
for
a
fun.
set
They
of
were fun.
encyclopedias to a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old, they'd be like, oh, cool. I'm just going
Give
to
up
look it up on my
books to a
phone.
fucking child. Doesn't matter which one. They're just like,
Yes.
what is this?
You know-
Can I play
you
it?
know
Is
you-
it
I mean-
digital?
I'm not.
You know you're old when your internet came from how many groceries you bought at Safeways. That was the internet of the day, dude. That's how I did
Yeah.
project reports.
That's so funny.
Because back in the day, for like encyclopedias, you had to like go to the grocery store, and if you spent like $25 worth of groceries, you get like A through AE.
yeah.
And then you had to like get the whole set. So you had to buy groceries all the time just to get these
I
goddamn
remember those
encyclopedias.
infomercials for sure.
Well, or you had those guys that would come and sell them. Like you had door
yeah.
to door encyclopedia salesmen. I mean, granted, I don't ever remember that, but I know it happened.
I
And we
remember the
had a set
commercials.
of them.
They were like on oh God, what is it ABC? Who's the one? No, PBS. PBS used to do that shit all the time. They would have
Right.
these Encyclopedia Britannica ones, and then those other like extra learning ones that would like teach your kid a different language while they're 3. Like I forget what those ones were, but
I know
yeah,
about
there was
Baby
a lot of weird
Einstein.
informational shit back in the day.
Baby
God,
I
Einstein,
love
holy
Baby
shit.
Einstein, but that was my child. So we watched.
just
Yeah,
had
that
a
was your child. Yeah.
that was me. That was not me. That was my child. So Blue's Clues too. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I grew
I
up
don't know
with
how to
some
get a
like
letter.
random ass scientist. It just literally triggered in my head. There was like this weird science show. It was not Bill Nye the Science Guy. It was
Beekman's
someone well
World.
before that. It was
Beekman's
more
World.
like the Bob Ross era.
Mr. Wizard.
Oh, it was
Mr. Wizard.
Yes,
it was
yeah,
Mr.
okay.
Wizard. Thank you.
I was not thinking of him, but I was thinking of somebody else.
That
But,
came out of fucking left field.
Carl
I was like,
Sagan.
wait a second. I remember watching this old man doing science experiments.
Uh-huh.
Who was it?
Dude, do
That's
you okay,
funny.
so if people of a certain age, do you remember what was his name? Mr. Goodbody? Like he used to be the guy with the
Yes.
afro, but like you could see
Yes.
all of his intestines and stuff.
He
That
wore
guy
he wore,
used to
he wore the
freak me the
bodysuit.
fuck
He
out.
wore the
Anthony,
bodysuit
we
that
are
had
lost.
all the.
This is not our.
I don't know that one. I
You
We
guys
don't
are
don't
like
know
my
this
age.
one. Anthony and I are like, we have no idea who this is.
Mr. Wizard, I remember. I do not know Mr. Goodbody.
Mr.
I-
Goodbody,
Mr.
he-
Goodbody,
he had the
but-
bodysuit that had
Mhm.
all the internal organs on the outside of it. He was
I'll
on
send a
Bill.
picture
Yeah.
so you
I
guys
heard
can
the
see.
first
'cause I
time
have
you
a picture.
described it, I don't recall that existing.
That's what I'm saying.
where I-
Yeah. Nope.
He was on Bill Nye often,
Oh,
What?
was he?
Was
Wait,
it? What?
wait, wait,
or
what?
or Beekman's World.
It may have been Beekman's World because I
Now
think
that
it
you
was
say
before
that,
Bill
that
Nye. Yeah.
rings a bell.
Do you know Beekman's World?
I
Mad
remember
scientist that had a
Beekman's
giant rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't know at all. But then again, I didn't have television, so I missed a lot.
He had a
So, to be
fro?
fair.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a fro. I have
He's
a
been
picture.
around for a
Let me
while.
find it.
He's
I don't
been
know
around
why
for
I
a
have
while.
it, but I do.
But
He's
yeah,
been
no,
around for a long time.
But I also didn't have television as a kid, so just,
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
Aubrey,
okay,
you're
be fair.
totally
John
right.
said,
You're
John
You're
said, do you
excused.
remember
You're
3,
excused.
2, 1
That's why it
contact?
didn't ring a bell.
Yes, I was just discussing this week with my wife. 3, 2, 1 classroom contact.
Oh, 3,
I barely remember 3-2-1 Contact. Like, I don't know if
Like-
I just didn't watch it or
3,
what was
2, 1,
going on.
These were my
Contact.
entertainment.
Let's
This is my
speak.
Yes,
thing
Stephen
right there.
King.
It's a talisman. Oh, it's my favorite one. One of my favorite
Is it?
books. Yeah.
I
that
was
book is so
reading
good.
Goosebumps. Okay,
I read Goosebumps. I read them all.
What
I
was your
read, I
favorite
read the
Goosebumps book?
Animorphs. Oh, and Night at the Phantom of the Auditorium, or I really love the Night of the Living Dummy series. I thought they were great.
Mine was Welcome to Horrorland.
Welcome to Horrorland is
Yes.
really good too. That
Yes.
one's really fantastic. There, a lot of them are actually fantastic.
No pinching.
I wanted an actual Horrorland that I like. It's a real theme park. Can we please have that? Just like somewhere that it's like always Halloween and everything's macabre and scary and it's just a year round. You want to get scared right now? You don't want to wait till October? Come on down. It's Horrorland. Yeah.
Isn't
Aren't
that the
those
traveling
Two
fair?
other ones.
I was going to say,
There's
aren't
two
those
other
haunted
ones. I was gonna
houses?
Graveyard, that's got to be a real thing, right?
I
I
have to
need
look
to.
it up.
I need to make a mention of two other ones really quick. Welcome to
Okay.
Dead House, which was the first one in the
Yes.
series. That
Yes.
one's actually really fantastic.
Yes.
And the other one was Night at Dark Tower, which is what I started to say and then had to remember.
Yes.
It was like, no, that's not right.
That
It's
was
Phantom
Terror
of the
Tower.
Auditorium.
Your adventure
Terror Tower.
ones where like it would branch off. And
Yeah,
you have to
Night
make
at Dark
decisions.
Tower. That one's so good. I love that one. I love the ending. The ending is like bonkers, but it's amazing. So sorry. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
I didn't read any Goosebumps. I was not a Goosebumps person, but anything else. Like, I read all the Hardy Boys. And
Fear
I read-
Street?
What about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Yes.
Yep. Read all
Have them
those.
all. Have them all.
Y'all, I'm a
I had
coward.
no one down.
I did not read any horror stuff when I was
Did you?
a kid.
So did you? Oh, you might have been older, but did you not read any Animorphs? Probably
Mm-mm.
not.
No.
You
Jake
wouldn't read
and
Animorphs?
Jake and Tobias and
I'm
Yes,
sure I would love them.
And
I just didn't
yes.
back then. So, yeah.
they
I like
are
the
amazing.
Chronicles
They
of
are
Narnia.
actually so much darker than people give them credit for. Like, they're such good books. They're so good.
yeah. And,
Marco is the best. Marco is the goat.
Yeah, and was it the Andalite? Was that X? What was his name? It was Axe.
Oh, and it was Aximilian.
Andalite. But
Yeah,
they call him
Aximilian.
Axe for short.
Max for short.
Yeah.
I saw quite a few of those books somewhere.
I was
They
I
might,
read
might have,
notorious-
they
comic
might have all been
books.
there. No.
And then all the classic books. That was it. Comic books and classics. So I read all that. I didn't read any of the Goosebumps or anything. I read
agree, Kevin.
some of the Star Wars books when I was a little bit older, but for the most part, it was like, I think I read Catcher in the Rye before I even hit high school or something. So it was like I read all the band books back then. So because I was cool.
I read so much that I had teachers take away my books.
See, I was notorious for stealing the books.
Yeah,
from
me too.
school. Like if I would rent one out from the library and then just never return it because I liked it. And like I'd hide it somewhere in my room and be like, I don't know, I lost it. And my mom would have to pay like full price for that fucking book and then find it like later, like, seriously, Anthony, another one? You don't give me money for the book fair, mother.
That's so funny. Mom
That's
freaked out when she
hilarious.
saw me reading Stephen King.
Oh,
I'm like, Mom, you're okay with me reading V.C. Andrews and the Clan of the Cave Bear series, but you draw a line at Stephen King?
Right? Yeah.
I was like 8 when I was reading those books.
Oh yeah.
My parents didn't give a fuck what I was watching on TV or reading as long as I was preoccupied with something else because they were busy getting stoned.
Animorphs is amazing. Kevin, that did have an ending, and it's a dark, dark ending. Nobody comes out
very
the same.
dark.
Nobody comes. No one survives. I'm kidding. They survive, but it's not good. Just it's just such a sad ending. It's so.
It's tragic.
Yeah, I have my oldest reading Goosebumps. Then after we read Goosebumps, then I have her watch the episode, and she's realizing the books are better than teaching her
It's
that.
definitely hit or miss.
Yep. Well, you're teaching her what we all know. I mean, normally the books are better than
Yes.
whatever it's being adapted to. So.
Okay, so I gave that like kind of thought right there when I saw the Twilight movie. I was like, okay, I got to go read the book because it must be better. And then I read the book and it was actually worse.
Yeah.
Like slower build than the movie, and like just out of the very last set, oh, there's a bad guy. Like, still don't understand how that is a $1 billion enterprise, but it gives me hope that if I write a book, I have hope. I have hope.
Wait, which one? Which book? Sorry.
The first one is god awfully slow to get to the fucking point, just like the movie.
Twilight.
They introduced the villain at
thank
least
you.
somewhat
Thank you.
earlier in the movie. Like
Yes.
that was the key difference. But otherwise, like god awful writing. I'm sorry, she's not the best storyteller. As much as just ripping off like old Sailor Moon plot lines. I'm just saying. That's my personal.
Nice Mezzo. She's talking about she's watched them with MSC3K. She's watched.
Oh my god, it's a girl that's very clumsy that like everyone somehow likes, even though she's got nothing going on. Do tell us more. Every boy likes her and they all have superpowers. What? Does anybody actually have a character that's not really creepy if you really dissect it and think about it? No.
Well, what Stephanie Meyer is what she was doing with Bella is kind of what we do in like video games and stuff. It's like self-inserting ourselves. So Bella is basically like a blank slate character.
Yeah.
Blank slate. I can talk. Blank slate character.
I have a pulse.
Right. I have a pulse and I speak really
Sometimes.
softly and I look really sad all the time. Someone needs to make me happy.
See, but this is what Stephanie Meyer thinks all girls want. That's she's like, oh yes, this is the feminine power fantasy. No, it's not.
No, I prefer compelling characters that go, damn, that
I
was
agree.
Yeah.
I want to grow up to be like them.
I want to be, dude. I want to be like Rachel.
I want to be like
wanna
Princess Leia.
Rachel.
Animorphs. I want to be like Rachel.
yeah.
Oh, we're still talking Animorphs.
Well,
I didn't read those.
Hell yeah, I'm still at Animorphs.
Not you don't want to be Rachel completely.
No, I don't. No, she does have some really, really awful things that happen, and she needs a lot of therapy and barb.
I feel like the best characters do. If your character is not riddled with some sort of like just massive trauma, you didn't write them right. You did not come up with something that's going to be compelling for your viewer.
And Marco, just the way what happened, everything turns out with him. Just all of them. All of them. It's so bad.
Alert. It's only 30 years old.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I just said,
exactly.
I'm just thinking about it.
I'm still talking about Animorphs.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
Not say what they're thinking.
Damn, it's been unleashed. I just cannot.
Force. You're up, Force.
What?
Force.
What?
What are you
What are
thinking
you thankful
for?
Honey, go. You need to go talk now.
God, it's
Oh, Dave, where the hell are you? So as of late, I'm going to side with Graveyard here, and I can say it's typical. Yes, I'm very grateful for all the things that I have in this house, my family, my wife, my kids, my dogs, everything that I've been blessed with. But as of late, what I've really needed, I have been granted, and it is friendship without contingency, and it is thanks to everybody on this fucking screen.
Oh.
There you go, Dave.
Oh my gosh!
You dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, you did. You just dropped an F-bomb. And Dave's not here. Every time Dave isn't here, you've dropped an F-bomb. It is.
It's
That's awesome.
I wish I could go into it more, but I won't. It's an internal struggle, and right now, you all are what I need, and my soul is being fed. The voids are being filled, some more than others, and I feel free. I feel free when I edit. I feel free when I record. I do this for this channel with no expectation, with no hope of more subs or content or Patreon money or anything like that. I am allowed to do what I want to do. I am free to love freely you guys, and it comes back to me, and I feel that, and there's no backstabbing, there's no betrayal, there's no DMs full of nonsense. I mean, it's God honest, real friendship, real. It's real. It's freaking real. And I'm more than anything right now. I am thankful for that, and I am holding on to it, and I'm not letting go, because I just, if I didn't have the day I had today, I wouldn't even have said any of this, but I'm just at that point, and I need Kyber Cave to know how much I've needed you all recently, and you've been there, and I am blessed because of you. And I'm going to stop before I cry. So I'm trying to finish this thing for the end of the show, because it's not turning out the way I want, but it's at least going to get the point across, and it's very, very big news. So I've got, how much time we got left with?
We
30
still
minutes?
got like 30 minutes. It's
30
fine.
minutes. You're
We're
fine.
just gonna come up with another random ass topic, because
Yeah, we can stretch it. Don't worry, we can stretch it.
So,
Don't worry,
We got
this.
your back.
We got
Yeah.
this.
Professional stalling.
Don't worry, honey. I got your back. Okay.
Mrs. Fours, I absolutely love you.
I absolutely love you.
Aw.
Aw.
I know we're so
Y'all get a
wholesome.
gaming show. Oh wait, you already have one.
Wait, we already have one.
Who's next?
I guess it's
Who's
me.
messaging.
Yeah.
Or the band.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
the band
yeah.
went. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. Well, I'm really thankful for all of you guys as well. Just to get it right out of the gate. I'm just really really happy to do all of these. I like doing this horror stuff and the games, and I've met a lot of really, really great people that just are wonderful here, and I'm friends with so many of them, which is really wonderful. Like, I have a very special friendship with Aaron, who is now my KCP husband, and I've been really loving getting to know Matt, and he actually inspired me to do some writing, some music writing recently. I sent him the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm so excited to get to know you more, Jennifer, and
Thank you.
I really love the people here. I really think we are all just fantastic group of people, and I am so glad I got to meet you. Emma's she's amazing. She's great. I'm really grateful for my voice coming back. That was a really big thing for me. I'm grateful for all the other stuff that I'm really glad I have where I'm at. I'm glad I live with the people I live with. I would, I wouldn't trade that for the world. They're just amazing people, and they make it so I can do what I do. And they pushed me to always do better, which is great. For people that are just, like housemates, they really take on that role of they're really supportive, and they're very kind, and they make it so I can do music, and I can do these shows, and I can do that. And that's something that they give to me, and it's just really amazing. So I couldn't ask for right now for a better life. I have an amazing band partner. I just released a song, which is really great. So yeah, I love you guys. I think you guys are great. And I think, so much grateful. I have an amazing family. There's so much if I name it here, I'll be here all day. So, I love my cat. My fur child is the best thing ever. I'll brag about him all the time. In fact, he even sells himself. He comes over here and gets on camera and it's like,
I've seen his tail about 5 times tonight for sure.
He bobs every time. Yep. Then he's like, I'm gonna flop down. No, I'm gonna go move over. Oh, Mom, you're moving.
My dog's
what are you doing?
behind me. She's
What's
fine.
up, Moons? So I just wanted to
Hey,
shout out
Moon.
to new people in there, and I wanted to give a shout out to John too. John at Ability TV's. We have a new show starting this
Yay.
Wednesday, we will be starting a brand new show together called Hearts of Kyber. So I am very excited about that. And for me, I am thankful for like Frey and Graveyard, I've just met within the last month or so. Frey has been around on the boards, but hasn't really popped up on the show. So I'm John. John is another brand new person that I've met through other shows, and like this channel has been growing so much just in the last 2 months. It's been absolutely amazing how much we've been able to grow. So I am thankful for all of you guys. You guys rock. You guys are incredible.
You guys
And
are
of
gonna
course,
make
to
my
Say
mascara
Wong.
run.
Oh,
Say Wong and everybody else in the audience who tunes in every week. I am thankful for you guys
yeah.
hanging out
Thanks
with
for all
us.
of you.
There's many other things you could be doing on a Friday night, but you choose to hang out with us, or maybe you're hanging out with us while you're doing other things, which is still cool too.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Of course.
Shout out to Distance Nerding because they're freaking amazing.
Yeah,
Hey,
distance nerding.
I absolutely have a blast with them every time I talk to them, whenever they're in the chat or just even
Hells
they
yeah.
invite us to stuff. They are, I mean, they have been such a, we couldn't ask for a better sister show. They're gonna come over and do the D&D game with us. I mean, it's not D&D, but it's, you know, the New Order, that's what it's called. I actually promoted it on their show.
Yay.
So it's definitely happening, man. But I am just so, James and Phil, thank you so much for having us as a sister show. Just thank you.
Yeah, well, they have been around. I've known Distance Nerding probably longer than I've known anybody else here on this screen right now. So Distance Nerding is a relationship that I've kind of always had bubbling in the background. They've been a lot more active with what we're doing recently, but I always see them out in the community, and I am very, very thankful for them as well. Moon says, I am thankful for my friends that I've made over the last 5 years and my wife.
Aww.
Love you too, Jeremy.
And
Yeah,
of course,
you know
we
what?
are all
Mezzo.
thankful for Mezzo.
Yeah.
Dude, Mezzo's
yes.
the GOAT. Mezzo is the GOAT. And
Love you,
is.
Premier
she
Mommy.
is just as amazing in person as she has been working on her show. She's great. I want to hang out with her more.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll all get a chance to hang out more like together and in public. We have that event tomorrow night. We're going to be Kyber Cave is going to be in Merced at the Violetta Film Festival. And Aubrey and David, we haven't seen a lot of David lately, but they will be performing a stage battle. So I'm hoping to get that video. They'll be performing the stage
Yes.
battle, and
Yes.
then hopefully,
Yeah, because I
please.
won't
do a
forgive you if
meet
you
and
don't.
greet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I know that's on the line, Jesus.
Okay, well,
No pressure.
no pressure
None.
there.
0.
Now I'm really
lose your honor
thanks.
forever.
Now I'm very nervous now. Oh man.
Being on stage in front of an audience wasn't going to make you nervous. It was just the fact that I was going to be videotaping it for the rest of these fools to see. That's what made you nervous.
Because I always get nervous when people are videoing. It was the one time when I was at Great America being Captain Conrad. The one time that they videotaped it, I messed up. Like I biffed. Like I went out of character for 1 second. Yeah. I was like, no, how could I mess up while they're videoing me? It wasn't everyone else. It was the fact that I knew I was being videotaped.
Oh, that's me anytime for my stage productions. Like if we know we're filming that day, it's like, fuck, I really can't fuck up that line tonight or something like that. They film 2 and then splice them depending on what happens.
Right.
Because there's always like one big ass ensemble number that Tracy tripped. She ruined the whole fucking chorus line. Go figure. Or like, something happens where like the set doesn't fucking come down from the sky. I saw a whole production of Sound of Music where like most of the trellis was up here.
Oh no!
The entire like 3 scenes that it was in, I was like, well, that's funny. I don't think that was an aesthetic choice on purpose.
Right.
Oh,
That's
no.
a choice, not
It
intentional.
happens. They have the floating trellis.
Oh, answer John's question. Yes, you can distance nerd from Indianapolis. You're not that far from me.
Thank you.
You ever
can do
you
that.
ever want to
Yeah,
nerd out together?
Uh,
Absolutely.
And we can always meet once a week. You can even, yeah. That's fine.
Man,
with
now
me.
I wish I
It's
was
awesome.
closer because I want to do coffee with the girls.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
It would be quite the drive for me, though. Probably take
Where are
me a
you
couple
at?
days. I'm in Oklahoma.
Ah,
I'm in the middle of the
I went.
country.
I've been to Oklahoma. I drove through there.
Yeah, that's a common thing.
Oklahoma, where the wind, something through this something.
Yeah, I know that song. I think you're absolutely required to know that if you live in Oklahoma for a long period of time to know how to
own the
know the song,
soundtrack.
yeah.
Yeah. So, John said something. He's like, "I love Marriott's Great America." Yes, old school. I was like, "Yes, I worked there. Yes, I actually was an actor there. Yes, I actually worked for BioWare. I get
Oh
to say
wow.
that.
Yeah.
I got to work on the Mass Effect Experience ride. And
Wow.
I know. I actually get to
Huge,
say I
yeah.
worked for BioWare. That's pretty awesome.
That is
Sorry,
pretty cool.
Not trying
Yeah,
to
no,
to brag. I just am
You
like, I
can
was a part of Mass
brag.
Effect.
You can brag. It's okay.
I got to be part of Mass Effect Experience.
Coffee chat. That sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Sad
Yeah.
truth is, when it first came out, I would have made a really badass Flynn Rider for Disney.
Oh,
Hmm.
you would have
Imagine
made
even,
a
like,
really good Flynn
on
Rider.
top of his
Yeah.
face, just smolder,
Yes,
Yeah.
you would have been great.
and not shave off half my eyebrows and do drag. Right. You have to imagine that full eyebrows. Would
Yes.
totally work with that.
Yes,
Well,
and
you know,
Seven
Dude, I would
Forever.
love to see you as Flynn Rider. That'd be fantastic. I love Tangled.
Flynn Rider
It's
is
one of my favorite
fantastic.
Disney.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to be a Disney princess when I was little. And so
I did too.
yeah. Which one?
Ariel.
Oh. See,
Hands
I
down.
wanted
Same.
to either be Sleeping Beauty because her dress changed colors.
Hmm.
Or I wanted to be later I wanted to be Belle because, dark hair.
Mhm.
And then recently Raya. Love Raya. That's like my favorite one right now is that Disney film. And then now, I mean, Princess Leia is a Disney princess and all of Marvel is a Disney princess. So, I got more choices now. But
Wait, so Jean Grey is a
You
Disney
even have
princess?
yeah,
Yes.
You even have the Xenomorph Queen as a Disney princess.
right? Yeah.
So it's Dr.
absolutely.
Frankenstein.
I know. And the T-Rex. I'm so excited about that because I always wanted to be a Disney princess, and now I get to be because
There you go.
I've got.
There you go.
Just kidding. But yeah. Anyways,
I just got to play the bad guy with my bald head, beard, and tattoos.
You can be a Disney princess too.
anyone can be a Disney princess. You're a
I'll be
Tolkien
Disney
character.
princess.
You're a Tolkien character. That's way better than being a Disney princess.
Mm.
Fair.
Yeah,
Like
but I mean,
Tolkien.
There you go.
eventually
Yeah.
they'll buy that, and then you can just be a dwarf princess. There you go.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Hey, I'm getting dangerously close to Aragorn if I just started working out.
I think
We
you
should
need
totally
more-
get together and work out. It'd be
You
fun.
actually need more
more stubble.
Facial hair.
wrinkles because
Thank you.
Viggo Mortensen has all those wrinkles. So
Well,
Just throw
that
him in.
that he was 87, right? Aragorn was 87 in the
oh yeah, he
With
was
the
yeah
rings.
in
he
the
was
books. Yeah.
he was much older. He was
Yeah.
weather beaten and older. I mean,
You look
probably
fantastic
looked
for
like he was in
87
his 40s,
then.
but
You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
said
Yep.
I'm the
That's
blonde
'cause the
guy
men
from
of-
Cowardly Dog.
well, I mean, Numenorian men, what can I say? They live up to about 200, 300 years. So hey,
Yeah.
Aragorn
Some
lived
of
to
them
be
age
210.
gracefully, some don't.
So anyway,
Anyhow,
All right.
I like
think-
my men
I think
like
we
I
have
like
officially
my
slid on.
Tolkien characters, aged gracefully
yes.
and emotionally
Absolutely.
unavailable.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
That's so funny.
All right.
It's hard
So
being
I
a
feel
Disney
like we have
princess in
kind
our
of
life. Ugh.
worked. What are we thankful for? Over. We got about 15 minutes, about 10 minutes before we start. Doing our outros and stuff. Any last little mini topics anybody wants to bring up?
I have
Meso
one.
actually had a really
Damn it.
good idea. Okay, I'll come to you in a second. He had a really good idea for these situations for our Patreon viewers, I just want to remind everybody really quickly, we do have a Patreon page. For as little as $1, you can help out this show and all of the brand new shows that we are bringing to Kyber Cave Productions. And at different levels, there are different exclusive gifts that we are working on. I was talking to Metso. We have the hoodie that we're working on for KCP is gonna. I don't know. We're working on the logo in the middle, but one sleeve is gonna have a microphone, and the other sleeve will have a lightsaber.
Oh, cool.
Yes, merch.
Yeah, so I am very excited.
Merch.
We
We
are
all
going to
love
have
merch.
exclusive
I
merch
love merch.
that you cannot get at kybercave.com. You will only be able to get it through being a Patreon member. So make sure to go check that out. So Metso had the idea that by being a Patreon member, people can suggest like little 10-minute topics for us as well. So that was the thing that I wanted to bring up, that we will start hopefully having on this show. We'll have ideas that are being brought up from audience members. So if you are a member of the Patreon, we'll have a little section there where you can suggest topics for this show as well. Okay, sorry, I
And
did
as
not
always,
mean to cut
thinking.
you off.
We should call them Patreon perks.
It's not me, it's
Yeah,
Anthony.
ooh.
I know we're both
Thank you.
beautiful with long hair.
I know,
It's
I
fine.
know, exactly. I
It
know.
is.
I know it's hard to get us all mixed up. I know. I get it.
Okay, good. Now, okay, so I mentioned this earlier, but what the actual hell is with the TikTok trend of the AI dick pics? Have you seen this or heard about this?
No.
Nobody has TikTok? Oh my God.
No, I have TikTok. I just haven't seen any of
No,
it.
I haven't seen any of
It's like
this.
constantly on my stream where guys are taking their dick pic photos and then having it go through the AI generator filter and becomes like a painting. But like
Wow.
whole trend of videos that I'm just like, okay, first of all, no one wanted to see your fucking junk. I mean, I kind of do, but like DM me for that shit. Don't post it
Right?
where everybody else can see it. But then on top of that, you damn well know that's like a close up of that shit. That is not with a perspective or ratio thing going on. Like I want to see like the full body in the mirror, then I can judge. But if it's just like a big old close up, like angles make magic. That's all. Like
So
the
his
camera
dick
adds
talk?
that extra 10 inches. What
Dick
I don't
talks.
know.
Oh my gosh, dick talk. That's hilarious. That's so
Oh,
funny.
that's awesome.
That sounds like
Yeah.
a talk show that Anthony might start.
Hi,
Welcome to
tonight
Dick
on Dick
Talks.
Pics on the Internet.
No,
We're gonna
Dick
discuss our
Talks.
favorites from Twitter.
I don't know. Maybe
Oh
they're
my
just coming out in droves this season, but I got 2 more people I had to block for being inappropriate.
You had to
Well,
cock block them?
I had to, yeah. I had to. Absolutely. I was just like, nope, block.
Oh,
None. Like one was like, so what kind of underwear are you wearing? I'm like, dude, can you at least ask me my favorite color first? Can you ask me like why are you even on my page? If
Right.
like, holy shit, dude, like I was like, this is gross. Do you watch porn?
That would be such a weird follow-up. What's your favorite color? Are you wearing underwear?
I mean, it is, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying like, get to know me as a person. Like,
Right.
I have a story
Fuck.
regarding this actually.
so gross.
So
I'm kind
there
of
was a time
afraid.
when I was much younger that I went to this like bar that was kind of local around here, and I saw like an old high school friend's older brother who had his like gay friend there with him, and we got to talking, and then kind of like ended up hooking up that night. And then later on, like that same friend's brother was like, "Oh my god, it was so weird watching the two of you." It was like basically two people that interact. Hi, my favorite color's orange. Hi, my favorite color's purple. Want to go make out? Sure. I was like, yeah, that's most gay meetings.
Yeah.
For sure. That's why we have Scruff and Grinder and hookups and all that. I'm glad I was never on those apps. I would have had to go to the clinic all the time. What? How old were you? Before I met you, honey, I think I was like 20. Yep. Yes, I was. It's pronounced whore, okay?
I didn't. I mean,
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God.
I wasn't part of all that. So, and I'm so like, everything just goes right over my head. So people
So-
probably were flirting with me and trying to send me stuff, and I was like, "What? I don't know."
Oh, I had-
Ooh,
I want to
so-
know. I want to know about these pictures because I'm not on TikTok and I don't really want to see them. But are they like artistic? Are they like Mona Lisa? Does it turn your
What?
penis
No,
into like
it's very.
a
It's
piece
usually
of
like
art?
scenic looking or something fantastical, but it's something that
Like
you
in
can
front of a mountain, it'll be like
Yeah,
your penis
yeah.
and then like a sunset.
Yeah, it'll be like a beach scene, and then that's the cliffside. But
No.
like you
No.
can visibly see like the shape of what their dick is, and it's
Oh.
like not really that subtle of a hiding thing. And it's just like you're literally putting this on an app that children have access to, and the algorithm could find their ass. And it's just like it's the same ones as like the guys that just kind of like do the thing where you can totally see their junk in their shorts, but like that's
Right.
not the point of the video. But that's the point of the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little perverted in that sense. Like stick to OnlyFans, stick to Twitter with that shit. Like,
I mean, again, not that the body isn't beautiful. The body is beautiful.
no, I know.
Like, but there's a time and place for it, guys. Like, seriously.
Well,
Time
yeah,
and place.
TikTok's
I do
something
not-
that you can scroll up and then suddenly that's in your face and you didn't know it was coming. Like,
That actually is that's what like made me leave Twitter. Actually,
Good choice of words there.
Yeah. Perfect phrasing for that.
I figured. Phrasing.
Anthony's good like that.
Phrasing. Yeah.
Finding.
No. Nobody wants to see it. I mean, I'm sure somebody
Again, I do,
wants to see
but
it. Yeah.
time and a place.
Time and place.
You know,
Yeah.
you say that nobody wants to see the dick pics, but I will have you know, Marissa and I were just having a conversation today about how one of our highest rated Kyber Cave After Darks is the one that says ghosting and dick pics.
We were
Hey,
just
that's
talking
just
about it
sex
though.
sells.
I was
not-
gonna say
an adult
everybody wants to
forum
talk
here.
about them, but nobody necessarily wants to see them.
That was a fun
Right.
show.
That was a really fun
Man,
show.
I missed that.
For
show
every
too.
10 members on Patreon, I will remove an article of clothing. Oh.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys the story about that? I actually got to see Chris Evans' dick pic.
What?
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
no,
the Chris
we didn't hear
Evans.
about that.
Captain
That's
America's
America's dick.
Yeah.
America's-
He's not only America's ass. Let me tell you that. Okay.
Wait, how did you get
Alright.
this photo?
He accidentally put it on Instagram. So I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, what is that? And then because I'm curious and a great detective, I had to look at it. And then
Chris.
I
And then
looked
take a
at it for a
snapshot?
little longer than I probably should have. And then he took it down like about
Then
5
I
minutes
saved it
after
into
that.
a file and looked at it later.
No, I didn't. I did not, but I know others
Damn
who
it.
did. But yeah. Oh,
Missed
Anthony, I
opportunity.
would
I'm
totally
kidding.
show it to you if I still had it. Trust me.
I'll have to
Just
suffer
stop
and
me.
use my imagination.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
just one
no.
of those timing things.
As we wrap up things we're thankful for.
You know, on that day, that would probably be in my top 5. I'm gonna tell you.
So what I'm hearing is it's girthy.
Let's just say that I'm pretty sure that if somebody wanted to have a good time with Captain America, they would not be disappointed.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah.
know.
But he also just made.
Wow.
But then again, he may just be terrible. You never know. It's not about the size, but it's the motion
Yeah.
of the ocean. Just saying.
He could be a one-trick pony because a lot of
Could
times
be.
when you have a good
Mature stream,
member-
everyone. Mature
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah. So
Or immature, I
Yeah.
guess, depending on how you look at it. All right, y'all.
and that
on
takes
that
us right back
note-
to but
What
that
do you
takes us
think?
back to the being a kid.
Mr. Fours, are you ready to talk about what you're thankful for?
I did talk
Wow.
about what I was thankful
He did.
Oh, you
No,
did.
but-
You did. That's right. You did.
It's a
We're
question
doing
of are
outros.
you
We're
ready to
doing
show us
outros
whatever
already.
you're working on?
That's what I meant.
I'm gonna
That's what I
have
meant.
to. We're gonna have to end the show for me to show you that because
Oh.
a couple of the things I use is copyrighted, so I don't
Oh.
want the strike against the channel.
Ah,
Oh, no.
But you can still
Okay.
see it. We just have to hang out in the after party.
This is
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry
Well,
to
we'll be able to
everybody.
see
who
it.
can't
The
watch
people
it.
online won't be able to see it.
We're gonna tell you
Fours
about
is
how
just
awesome
a
it was and you
tease.
should have
He's
been
just
there.
a tease.
Patreon.
I am America's
Oh.
tease.
Yeah, you
American
can put this up on the
There you go.
Patreon page. We could put this on the Patreon page and it wouldn't get a copyright strike there.
Okay.
It'll be exclusive.
It's really silly, but I mean, I'm going to put it to you this way: 2 people on the screen know, 2 people on the screen are going to freak the hell out, and 1 person might be but
Am I the
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since I don't know what it is, I'm gonna assume I'm in the freaking out category.
So anyway,
all right, y'all. Well, let's go around. Let's do our rounds of outros then. If we're gonna do the video out there after the outros.
Oh, someone
Let us-
really wants to get to this video now. That's hilarious. Go ahead, Anthony.
Is it me again? What?
Yes, it's you,
it is
darling.
you again.
It's always you.
My name is Anthony. I haven't been on in drag in a minute because I can't think of what goes with the beard for a good drag look, but we'll see. We'll see. We have a whole month. Outside of that, Blend and I and my show, we're going to be doing a selective schedule for the holidays. It's just too busy. It's too much. I don't got the energy. So we have a show next week, and then we have one on December 7th, and then that's it. We're going to save the rest of it for next year and then come back better and stronger and kind of figure out maybe something else that could work. Because I feel like a lot of people tell me it's always too late. So I'm willing to adjust. I'm going to take an opinion poll of some sort. But other than that, I'm back off of the mend of having my foot fucked up. I think that healthcare should be a universal right. And I'm really happy to be here. And other than that, yeah, good fun time. Nice.
I was thinking, do you remember in Spaceballs? Do you remember the movie in Spaceballs where like they accidentally take out the stunt doubles or whatever, and then like Princess Duridia turns around and it's like a guy with a beard, but he's wearing like Princess Duridia's like outfit. You can play as that with the beard.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a whole new costume I gotta somehow collect. Okay, we'll figure that out. Figure it out. If I could use the Leia one I have currently, I'll make that happen.
You probably could. Actually.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah, because it's a
right.
it's a ripoff of that anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so
Graveyard.
I am Graveyard. You can find me here at Kyber Cave After Dark on Fridays. You can catch me every once in a while in the Kyber Cave Gaming. Hopefully, more coming soon than that. And more so, you can hear I'm a co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night podcast, where we discuss all things horror. I drop those at midnight on every Wednesday.
Ooh, midnight.
They're
Yes.
amazing. Go
Spooky
and listen to
time.
them. They're actually
you.
really
Thank you.
awesome.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm
Frey
Jennifer
Girl.
Frey Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll be here every Friday. I'm gonna try to be here every Friday on Kyber Cave After Dark. I mod for New Rock Stars on their show The Break Room with Mezzo.
Yay.
She mods as well, and also in their Discord as well. So I'm usually there if you can't find me here. I have TikTok. My TikTok and my Instagram are Gotham_Oracle, and then my Twitter and Facebook and pretty much everything else, I'm Frey Girl. So that's why I stick with the Frey Girl, because most everybody knows me as that. But I'm happy to be here.
Alrighty.
Yay!
And we're happy to have you, Mr. Fours.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to apologize for dropping my first ever F-bomb on the internet. It only took me 42 years, but I did it.
Yes! And David missed it? David missed
I told you, Dave's always missing them. I don't know how it happens. but
Okay,
he
I
always
hope we
misses
saved
them.
that for posterity. I want a clip of that in the chat, please.
I think Metz already deleted
Mezzo
it.
already got a clip. Mezzo already
Yes.
clipped it.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I'm
Oh my
sure she
gosh.
did.
All right,
probably
kids, here's
gonna
what I'm
play
going
it
to
on
need
a
you to do.
Efficient.
I'm going to need you to go to kybercave.com and purchase a Saber. And then I need you to go to forsfx.com and buy a Saber font. Go to Harry Solo Fonts, support my friend Harry who does this too. Go to saberfont.com and support everybody who works very hard to bring sounds to your Sabers, because they are amazing things. If you are subscribed to this channel, then you already know about the amazing things that happened here. Kyber Cave is growing. It is growing by leaps and bounds, and there are more and more and more shows coming. Right now, Mrs. Fours and I are knocking out The Last of Us Part 1, and then she and Anthony and I will be going into Legend of Dragoon or Silent Hill next. That's going to
I
be
know, I'm pretty
one
excited for Legends.
Legendary
fun.
Dragoon.
Hey, it's
all
exciting.
about
It's really
that.
Legendary Dragon. That's what we're doing.
And then if you look at the Patreon after tonight, you will be able to see the video that I will be dropping on these guys here in just a few minutes. But please continue to support the Kyber Cave. Tell your friends. Get the more folks who subscribe and like, the better chances you have to win a free saber.
We're 26 people away.
We are 26 people away. So
It's amazing.
see y'all next week.
Woo. All right.
Wait, one thing. I have one thing. Hold on. Wait,
Oh.
wait, Forrest.
Yeah.
Forrest, do you
Yes,
mean,
honey.
Mr. Forrest, do you mean
Yeah.
like
Yes,
a
honey.
saber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean like this?
Yes.
Ooh.
Just like that.
Oh.
She
It's
finally
magical.
has a
That's my
saber.
saber. I finally have a saber, and it looks like a Sailor Moon wand. I love
Yes,
it.
it does.
It's a Spiral Heart Attack wand.
And we will get you a Sailor Moon font on that.
Yay.
There's a reason why I have my name as Sailor Lady Moon.
Right back at you, Jeremy. I hear you.
Oh man. But yeah, so you can find me here. You can find me in a lot of places, actually, probably all over the internet, unfortunately. I'm not in a bad way, I'm just saying. Probably look me up, and I've been in a few projects, okay, guys. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I'm a singer, I'm an actress. I'm not in anything X-rated though.
Ah!
Just saying. Anyway.
Good.
So yes, I have seen
she's-
the actual Sailor Moon saber. I'm planning on buying it when I can. But that is not a battle saber. I would not want to fight with that thing.
No, that's
Because
why you keep it in the box. It's
yeah,
precious and
you keep it
precious.
to make it look beautiful and precious. And so anyway, so yes, I'm an actress. I'm a singer. This is my band, the band that I'm in, that I've created with Leo Saramago. He was actually here earlier.
It stands
But
for Buy Your
created a
Lightsaber.
band. The what?
It stands for Buy Your Lightsaber.
Yeah, it stands for whatever you want it to. But yes,
That's what I wanted to
absolutely
stand
buy your lightsaber. Go to Spotify or any of the other ones, iTunes, wherever you want to go, and listen to our song "Mr. Sinister" because it's awesome, and
It's
we are.
incredible.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Aw, my friends. Anyway, go there. Go listen to it. It's really good. And we have a couple more songs that we are working on right now. One's almost finished. So we're hoping to release more soon. And yeah, and you'll probably catch me in some more acting projects soon, and having a few things in the works. So
We'll
and
catch
then
you
I've
in an
got that
acting project
performance tomorrow.
night.
Yeah, I wrote the script and everything. It's cheesy as hell, but whatever.
Cannot wait. Need the video.
We will get that recorded. All righty.
I need
As
music.
for me, make sure to check out all the projects that we have on Kyber Cave Productions. This Sunday, I am so excited. Please share and tune in and let all your friends know we have Tommy Bechtold from New Rock
Yay,
Stars will be
Tommy.
on
Yes.
Saber Rattle this Sunday night. Very excited for that one. In fact, we just sent him a saber for his birthday, so he will be happy.
He loved it. He loved it. He's already posted a video on his Instagram about it, and yeah,
Oh,
he
wow.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
loved it.
Well, woohoo! I cannot wait to talk to him on Sunday night. Tomorrow night, we are going to be in Merced for the Violetta Film Festivals. We're going to be hanging out with our friends over at Distance Nerding. Aubrey
Yes.
and David from this show will be doing a performance. So if you want to come out and meet them, come take a photo with them, be at the
Support
Violetta
them.
Film Festival. It's an independent artist, so people submit their independent films. Someone wins prizes and things like that. It's $15 for this. I think this is like the 7th year it's been running. So they have definitely been around for a while. But tomorrow night we will be doing a performance, and we will have a booth there with a whole bunch of new fun sabers that we literally just got in yesterday. Make sure to tune in on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is our gaming show with Mezzo. She does that live at 10 a.m. in the mornings. And starting this next Wednesday, John and I have a new show called Hearts of Kyber that will be coming on at 5 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday. So make sure to check that out. Fridays, we are here for Kyber Cave After Dark, and Sundays is Saber Rattle. Thank you guys so much for everybody who tunes in every week. Say Wong, who is constantly here. We love you. Kevin
Love you,
Hogan,
Say
produced over at Saber Rattle, and all the other great places. Gonna see Great Wolf Lodge along the way. I would love to see a con happening over at Great Wolf Lodge. That would be a fantastic place for that. We need to make that happen, Kevin.
Can
All
someone buy Phil a pickle for me tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe some pickle flavored chicharrones.
Yes.
We'll
And a
just get a
McRib.
whole bunch of. I'll get a jar. And we'll just fling pickles at him from,
Do it.
from the audience.
Somebody
no,
bring
don't
him
do
a
that.
McRib.
Don't do that, please.
Somebody bring him a McRib and tell him it's from Fours.
No, it's so freaking distracting when you're performing. Tell him, Anthony. It's so distracting people do that shit.
Don't
Anthony's
throw
probably
things
the only person that likes
unless
getting
they're
hit in the head
$100
with
bills.
pickles during a
Yes.
performance.
Please don't.
All right, y'all. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
We are off to see this video by Fours.
After
and then,
party.
Yes.
if
Bye,
you
after
want to see that
party.
video, join our Patreon and you can see that video as well. All right, y'all. And our outro video, who I'm very excited. Tommy Bechtold. Here we go. Peace, y'all.